What's going on, guys? Kiger here. Pestonia was just added to the game. I'm going to walk you through why this is a great healer and you should snag 2 copies. Let's get into it. Alright guys, before we get into the character review itself, as I said in the beginning, I think you should get 2 copies of the new units and stop immediately. Why I say that is 1 copy is the unlock, the second copy gets them to level 4 star. To get them to 5 star, you need 2 more copies. That's way too much for most players. And while you can slowly get that second copy over time on your missions, I think you should focus on the 2 copies as soon as possible, because some of the most important stuff with these characters is hidden behind that second copy 4-star effect. Now, going into her abilities themselves, her basic attack deals damage, attack, and HP, so you're going to want full HP, ignore attack on her, because the healing is also based on HP as well, and a 70% chance of attack down. So we'll see later on with her skill, she does a bunch of buffs, buffs your team, debuffs the enemies, and is a bit of a battery for your biggest ally. Passive is a big deal with what we're looking at here. So increase all healing effects by 15% once you get to level 4. 5-star effect, so for most players it's going to be a long time before you get this. Grants higher attack boost to the primary target, so whenever you use a heal skill with her, whenever you use a skill with her that targets an ally, it's going to give them high attack boost, which is 40% attack. If they already have attack up, then it cancels it out and just gives them high attack boost. Whichever one's the highest number proceeds, not the last one like some other games. Then we'll see grants divine persuasion to the primary target for 2 rounds. And as we see right here, divine persuasion, you give it to the target, they have 100% base chance, so it's ER effect power versus effect resistance, to inflict silence on them for 1 round when they use a skill. So you use either a heal or a buff from her to go onto your ally. When that ally hits someone, they do a effect resistance chance to silence them, and that's at level 2. At level 5 it's for 2 turns, so you can completely shut people out. Then the special AoE heal for 20% max HP gives everyone recover for 2 rounds, which heals their max HP. And remember, with the passive, the active heal and the passive heal at the start of their turn are both increased by 15%, as well as gives everyone defense boost for 2 turns. So she's being a great buffer already. And remember, she's also giving that high attack boost if you have her at 5-star, and she's giving that divine persuasion, which is very, very powerful. Then the ultimate, which changes the entire game, and as you see, that 4-star is going to be big when we talk about this. So single target heal for 10% max HP. Additionally heals the lowest HP for 20%. Gives them gives the target 100% turn meter, so they go next, which combos with the passive, so they get to immediately use the Divine Persuasion to lock someone off, which is very, very powerful. That 4-star buff is huge, getting rid of 3 debuffs immediately. That can be shock, burn, all these things. Even if they themselves are silenced, purge 3 debuffs is huge. Some people were using Lupus Regana because she also does a 1 debuff cleanse. Now we have a single target 3 debuff cleanse, as well as giving the target silence. And remember, this is also both heals. The main target and lowest HP heal are both increased by 15%. The 6-star doesn't really matter. It's saying if they're already at cap once they go. So if they're at 75% and you give them 100, then they only took 25. You have 75% left. 50% of what's left goes to her after they take their turn. So it will matter eventually, but not enough to rush a 6-star version of this character. And that 10% turn meter boost goes up to 20% on the bottom. So the primary target gets 100%, the secondary target gets 20%, and if you have her at 6-star, any excess, 50% of that is returned to her as turn meter. Now her card, as we see right here, enhances healing. If we do view... No. So enhances healing by 10%, doubling the effect of targets with 50% or lower HP. After using Divine Boon, reduces the cooldown of the primary target's random skill by 1 round, and grants 25% chance to reduce the cooldown of primary target's random skill 1 additional round. Can only be triggered 3 times. So Divine Boon, if we remember, is the boost. So bring them to the top and then reduce their cooldown. So if this is second turn, like let's say you have a very fast unit that has 1 skill you really want to use a bunch, let's say just any unit, right? So if we take a look, not with them, a really great one would be something like Mare, that does the rollout, the Mare's ultimate, his ultimate, where it hits all the enemies, does speed down, and if they already have speed down, turn rewind 40%. You could you could also put a bunch of speed on Mare, have someone that goes before Mare give AoE speed down. Mare goes 40% turn rewind on everyone. That's the only skill that Mare used. Then you come through with Pistonia and juice Mare to go next again, reducing the cooldown of that skill, as well as give Mare a silence ability that's already putting out those seeds that sap them for HP and heal Mare. It looks really, really strong. Now, the effect of the card does... I thought you could see the upgrade effect here. It also gives HP, so that will also increase the healing amount. And let's see what they say goes with her. They're saying... they're saying Mare's a good teammate. Makes sense. I like the idea of Mare with her as well. I don't see specifically why you would put her with another healer. Probably because she increases healing, so it makes sense to increase more healing. But what I think she goes with is things that already heal. So she could go really well in a bleed team with something like Coyotes, which He does more damage with the bleeds. Also, with that team, you can do Vampire Bride, that with her captain skill, increase the bleed damage, and her card, whenever bleeds happen, heal your team. She's also increasing this heal by 20%. It's not the strongest version of this, but I think this is a really cool aspect you can go in. You can also do very interesting stuff like increasing the heal that Shaltair does to herself. Things like this. But if you're doing something like Arena, I think one of the strongest things you can do right now is something like Pastonia, down here, Mare, either Aura and or Brain is actually very, very good in PvP right now. Obviously, First Seat is pretty good. But really, you have a bunch of options. I think the thing that makes that's most important is Pastonia plus Mare down here is the best wombo combo to go with her in the game. Let me know what you guys think down below. Tell me